Hello everybody, welcome to my channel back. Today we are going to analyze the game that just played between Hans Niemann and Magnus Carlsen entitled Tuesday evening. It happened 26th of August 2025 and this was really crazy and wild game, and it's always nice to analyze the games of Magnus Carlsen, by especially when it's against Hans Niemann. It makes it even more fun because of the conflict goes on between those two for long years, and as a chess fans I think we all are aware of that conflict. If you don't know what's going on, just let me know in the comments. I will give you some heads up. And yeah, so I'm really happy to analyze this game. But before going to analyze, please don't forget like the video and subscribe to my channel to be aware of upcoming and another more and more chess videos. So let's see what happened in the game. Hans Niemann starts with e4. Magnus Carlsen answers c5, and after c5 knight comes to f3, knight c6, and bishop b5. Bishop b5, it's actually Necmettinov Rostolino attack goes on over the board, and after developing this g6, of course bishop aiming to come on g7 square, and bishop takes, knight takes back, and after d3 also opens this line of this bishop, and probably meanwhile analyzing this game, you will see a lot of signs that already has been marked over the board before, because it's already my fourth attempt to record this video. First 3 times for really stupid reasons just has been failed, so that's why my voice also is a bit tired anyway. And after playing d3 and queen c7, and then Hans Niemann plays e5. e5 is super interesting idea that according to chess.com database, this position until here has been played for a lot of times between every level, every sort of players, but e5 actually has been played only once in blitz game. But actually this e5, even though looks interesting, and also gives away this d4 square, and that's why Magnus doesn't even think about this move for pretty long, and he just plays knight h3, castling. That knight jumps to f5, rook e1, that knight jumps again to d4, h3, and then that knight takes this knight. This is actually crazy and looks really wrong when we consider the simple ideas of chess. Like normally playing with one piece, not even 3-4 times, like 2 times in the opening, normally considers as a wasting of tempo. So don't try this shit at home, guys. If it's you or me and trying to do this same steps with one piece for 3 times and giving this knight also for another knight that already moved once, and it's not actually, it's wrong. We will lose this game. But when it's Magnus, it's a different story. And queen takes back and comes to f3 square, bishop g7, and this another bishop comes to protect this pawn, since there was some kind of idea and pressure on this pawn. But also this knight, actually this bishop doesn't actually come here only to protect that pawn. Also there is some e6 ideas with discovered attack to this queen, and of course bishop e6 is the best idea to avoid this e6, and also developing your bishop meanwhile. After a4, a5 answers, and then this knight develops to d2, and here Magnus plays h6. After h6, knight jumps to e4. Knight e4 is wrong. Why? Because actually he gave away this pawn. Magnus could have done it, but for some reason Magnus doesn't go for it. Probably he found this line, like half open line a bit strange, and also since this king is still in the center on this line as well, that's why probably he didn't go for it, and he tried to make a bit solid move, and after that he just played b6. After b6, finally Hans Niemann collects the truth from the tree that he built up with e5 earlier, and this knight actually comes here as brilliant, because you can't actually take it he takes back, attacking on this bishop and attacking on this queen. When you go here, you have to go somewhere with this queen, meanwhile protecting this c6 pawn as well, because this queen attacks here, and then he will just take it. If you come here, he just takes this pawn as well. This is totally winning position for white pieces. But what if you take with bishop? Still again takes it. If he attacks on your queen, you have to come here, takes. If you take, he just comes here with bishop and attacking on your rook, and it's another winning position for white piece. So simply we can't take it, and best move is king f3 because f8, because we have to react this this move since it was check. And after that, this knight goes back and rook comes to d8, b3, and king goes to g8. Why does this king goes to g8? Because another thing is, I really want to mention that I have just read that blog has been written with Grandmaster Vasif Durar Beyli in chess.com. You can find that blog as well. It simply talks about why amount of the draws increases meanwhile you go up. I'm talking about chess level. When we check the high level chess games, like most of them are draw. The main reason is strong players are always making the safety of their king is their first priority, and that's what they always check firstly. Afterwards they go for attack. But in low level, in our level for example, we don't pay that much actually attention on our king's safety, and meanwhile thinking about the attack ideas, and that's why most of the times like we getting either winning result or losing result. And instead of, even though I mean, as I said before, this pawn is still hanging here, so still instead of going and taking this pawn or thinking about some attack ideas, Magnus thinks first I have to put this king somewhere more safe, and only this h7 looks like more safe, like safe square, and that's why let's walk there. If I will manage to put my king here, I will also activate this rook, so this rook standing here out of the world and finally can involve to the game and help me out in my attack ideas. And after that, h4 has been played. H4 also is kind of attack against this king h7, because in the future if it will come here, then he can push it or try to open up this line somewhere just to attack on this king. And after that, Magnus actually blunders here. And after rook d5, Hans Niemann still could have done this again, because let's say I take it with, he just takes back and again here, and he attacks on my queen. I have to go somewhere, and he takes this bishop. When I come, he just has this ideas. I mean here, like, and afterwards he takes, and then there is this idea. And even if I come here, it's totally bad. And so just because of maybe I can come here, but still takes this, and it is still not that good, because in the future still you can just go back here, meanwhile attacking on this bishop, or after going back attacking on this bishop, if you will take care of this bishop, then this c4 can be played, attack on this rook. So a lot of things, a lot of space to play for white pieces actively, and especially in blitz time tempo, it's really dangerous to let your opponent to constantly attack on your pieces. That's why this is also was not good, and that is the idea Hans Niemann had for winning, but he doesn't see that, and he plays most obvious one, knight c3 to attack on this rook. But it actually gives some chance to Magnus to play g5, because it says just simply, if you take, I will take back with bishop to attack on your queen. You have to go somewhere with your queen, and then I will just take this bishop. That's why Hans Niemann doesn't take it, goes back with his bishop, and again takes this pawn, attack on that bishop. Same idea is still working. And after taking that bishop back, finally this e5 pawn are getting destroyed. and over the board, because that e5 was actually biggest devil over the board against black pieces, and finally he manages to get rid of it. And this position actually looks pretty pregnant to give a birth a lot of tactics, like this is hanging, this is hanging, there is some discovered at some attacks with tempo here, there is some diagonals. It's crazy wild position, but actually in high level this is not so difficult to find out. And since it's high level game, and only idea is bishop g3 here to keep white pieces alive over the board. And here actually black pieces doesn't lose any material, because takes this rook with check, and when this rook takes back, and then plays queen d7. After queen d7, Hans Niemann just comes to trade the bishops, and actually this is pretty okay for Magnus, for black pieces, because only the problem black pieces had was about the safety of the king. And meanwhile, you decrease the amount of the pieces over the board. That means you're also decreasing the possibilities of getting sudden checkmates when you have unsafe king over the board. That's why it's always good to trade it. And after taking back with rook, this rook also is unprotected, this knight also is unprotected. So queen comes to d4 and gaining some space area and also more active position, also attacking on both these unprotecting pieces, but white pieces still has a protection. And after queen g8 check and also protecting this knight, when king goes somewhere, this knight should have been come here to attack on this queen, and after this queen goes somewhere, just it's still equal, and just keep trying to develop your position bit a bit and trying to just survive. I mean, this is not so hard after this, but Hans Niemann makes mistake here. He plays knight e4. Knight e4, most obvious winning idea is first queen a1 check. King has only one place to go. Rook comes here with attacking on this queen, but this queen actually has another responsibility to protect this rook, because this queen still attacking on this rook. So, but that queen is under attack now. That means this queen needs to go somewhere, still being able to protect this rook, and this is the only square. And after that, there is rook g4 attacking on this queen again, and wherever you go with this queen, you have to go somewhere. This rook just, yeah, gone. And also black pieces takes this rook with check here, so this is totally winning position for black pieces. But Magnus doesn't go for it. Magnus goes for it directly. I mean, after this he just plays rook g8 idea directly. Why Stockfish considers it as a missing? Because there is c3 idea here. Crazy. Take, first check, and just to push this king a bit away, and after you coming here, takes. It is still winning position for black pieces, because first of all, black piece has one more pawn, and another thing is he attacks on this big pawn, and this pawn can't actually walk, then this will take, and this knight is kinda needs to be stick there to protect these pawns. And since this knight doesn't have flexibility, doesn't have freedom to move over the board, this is pretty winning position for black pieces, but at least it's not that much over. Still white pieces can try something out, but finding this c3 is really hard. Stockfish finds that, of course. Stockfish is monster, but Hans Niemann is human. Hans Niemann is human and has only 17 seconds here. And also, to be able to find this c3 idea, you have to calculate a lot of things. You have to calculate if you lose this quality or not, and afterwards, if you will go to endgame, you have to evaluate that endgame, how good is that for you, and etc. So finding this c3 practically, almost not possible. And Hans Niemann plays, queen f4, and after rook g4, he just resigns. I think it was crazy game. It was really nice game, and I really enjoyed to watch this game, and also preparing this recap for you guys. And Personally, I have to mention that Hans Niemann put really great effort over the board in this game, and especially the line e5 idea, knight f6 sacrifice was great things against Magnus Carlsen, and those moves actually made this game this fun. But at the end, world number one Magnus Carlsen puts the last dot to the sentence, and let's chess speak for itself. Yes, guys, that was it. Please don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel to be aware of similar and tutorial and chess videos to improve and to improve our chess skills. I couldn't speak. Chess skills. Anyway, and yes, thanks for watching. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.